The welds look pretty good. I mean, this is beefy. Like, what is this, man? This is thick. 1/4 inch. But this is a serious piece of hardware here. So on a good day and wet, I'm probably like 160. Nothing. Probably wondering what this is. It's heavy. This is a bike rack hitch mount for mostly e-bikes. Young Electric sent this to me. They wanted me to do a video on it. They sent me a bunch of different ones and I was like, I would never use those. I'm used to using a different type of bike mount that doesn't touch the frame. It only clamps the tires. And they had one, so I told them, you know what, I'll take a look at it, do a review. This one is supposed to be heavy duty. And if it being this heavy was a sign of how heavy duty it is, I think it is. So yeah, this box is very heavy. So let's go ahead and pop this box open and check out the Young Electric 2 e-bike rack. And it has a ramp in it too, so you can load them up. Because we all know e-bikes are heavy, especially commuter e-bikes. Looks like we just got some tape and staples. Put this knife away before I stab myself. Very good at doing that. Oh yeah, this thing is beefy. Holy crap. Okay, wow. So pretty good packaging here. Thoughtfully laid out to, one, protect everything, but also keep it separated from each other. So here's this big steel hitch mount. I mean, look at this thing. This thing's beefy, and the welds look pretty good. You always know like a good weld if you just see it and it doesn't look like they ground it down and painted over it. So they didn't have to grind these welds down. They actually look really nice. This is your little loading ramp here that you can attach on to the actual rack and wheel up a bike. Has like a hydro dip carbon look to it if you like that. Has a little rubber pad down here, hook system, and this attaches to the rack too, so it goes with you wherever you go. You always have this. We have a accessories box here. A bunch of little trinkets and bolts like in here. Remember, kids, don't cut towards you. And they're in a bag. Oh, nice. I see a lock here, a hitch lock. That is a bonus. People steal hitches. So yeah, this has a keyed hitch lock. Awesome. That's awesome. People steal hitches. It's a thing. Like, go into a parking lot with your truck, come back out. If you're done shopping, hitch is gone. Get a hitch lock. Even if you don't have a bike rack, just go get one. A little, looks like a safety strap here as well. So big on safety with this. There's a lot of safety pins and locks. I like to see that. Because the last thing you're gonna do is have a bike flying down the highway at a 45 mile an hour or even 70. These look like little wheel stops for your tires, made out of metal. That's good, not plastic. I like that. So this must be the main actual piece that holds these where the bikes sit. I mean, this is beefy. Like, what is this, man? This is thick. 1/4 inch. Welds look pretty good. Oh, it is actually like braced on the inside too. Right here where it actually goes into your receiver. This thing's not light, but I don't think it's meant to be. It's meant to be safe. These bike tracks are insane. I mean, that looks like, that might be aluminum. Okay, so a little bit of weight savings here, but the supporting brace, oh dude, these are thick. Yep, definitely for e-bikes, fat tire bikes as well. This is a stout system. This thing is built, possibly overbuilt. Get our lock here. Release. I mean, might need to back up, but this is a serious piece of hardware here. Has like a wheel chock that's built into it that you can move. A locking system here that won't come undone unless you push down the locks. You can adjust for these tires if you have like smaller or bigger tires. Super wide. I mean, you could probably even get a road bike on this inner channel. But yeah, this thing is stout. This looks like to be extruded aluminum, so they have some weight savings there. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. That's nice. Okay, so here we have the full kit. They did send me an optional tail light kit, which I'll unbox later. But you got your 2 bike racks, which are the style I prefer, where they clamp the tires versus clamping a seat tube or a frame. I just don't want anything rubbing on my bike. You know, I spent a lot of money on it. If it's gonna get damaged, I'd rather have it happen on the trail than me transporting it somewhere. And then you have a ramp here, which connects to the bike rack itself. You have the main support for these racks, some tire stops, some hardware, and the actual receiver piece that goes there that allows you to tilt this. So what I'm actually gonna do is go back up the truck, and I'm gonna build this while it's on the truck. Now, before you get started on installing this, you're gonna need to supply some of your own tools. So that's a 5 and 6 millimeter hex wrench. You need a 10 millimeter open-ended wrench, 2 17 millimeter open-ended wrenches, 1 13 millimeter open-end wrench, and 2 24 millimeter open-end wrenches. Now, I don't have 24-inch open-end wrenches. I don't think a lot of people do unless you're a dedicated shop. So I have 24 millimeter socket and good old adjustable wrench. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's go ahead and get started on the assembly here. 2-inch hitch. And with this you get this thread-in hitch lock. We're just going to thread this guy in. Give you a little wiggle here to get it going. Now I'm gonna guess this is what the 24 is for. Yep. So what this is gonna do is this is gonna help stop rock this, because it's pinching this side of this pivot against this side of the hitch. So say just give it some good torque on there. So that's gonna stop the left or right. There will be just a little bit right there, but not much you can do about that. So now we're gonna get our support tree, this guy here. So for this, you're gonna want this actual hitch pin, receiver pin here, and the one singular big bolt with the nylock on it. This hitch pin actually goes at the very front, like so, and then this bolt with the nylock goes in the rear. Tighten up the nut side. Now you want this kind of loose, but you still want it to pivot. Now let's just test this. Yep. Now that we got our support on the bottom side here, there's also an anti-vibration nut. So you can actually tighten that once you get this mounted. This is gonna soak up any play. Now we're gonna actually attach the actual racks themselves. That's gonna require these 4 long bolts with nylocks. So these kind of fall right into place. Put your bolts through. Like so. And this is why they ask for an open-ended wrench on here, because it's a little bit tight. You can't get the bolt through this way. It only goes through this way. Now it should be said, these actual racks are extruded aluminum, so don't pinch these too tight because you're just pinching the aluminum. So go tight enough where you're like, okay, it's good. These themselves are actually pretty light. Grab our bolts and nuts, run it through, and tighten them down just like the last ones. Okay, now we have these little wheel chocks for your wheels to sit in, and these actually just go in like this. So there's a chock in the actual rack itself that this sits in, and then you have these two Allen head bolts where you just go ahead and run it through like this. Get our other one. These are adjustable, so there's holes throughout the actual rack itself where you can move these chocks, and it's just an Allen key to do so. And then you don't want to tighten this where it clamps, you want it to be a little bit loose. So if you load a bike up from this way, it can roll over like that. Or if you load a bike up from this way, you can roll the tire over and it locks in. So when you close this, it pushes against here and here. So now I'm going to take my 6mm Allen key and tighten up this chock. Grab my 13mm wrench here. So I'm tightening it enough to where it's stiff, where it won't wobble back and forth, but will still rotate. And now for the last piece, your bike ramp. And this actually connects on the end when you're loading it, like that, so you can roll your bike up into the rack, and I'll show this on video. And then when you're done with it, it actually stores right here on the end. You got this little self-containing pin, goes in like so, and this has a safety leash which you can just connect to one of these bolts we ran through for the actual rack itself. Okay guys, so that's it. It's all assembled. Pretty easy to do. And here, get on it for you. Now this has a 200-pound weight limit. I'm not exactly 200 pounds. I wish I was. But yeah, I am about 150, 160. I have a Ranger Raptor 2-inch receiver. I don't know if they have a adapter for this. I probably wouldn't run it on a smaller hitch receiver, but this is 2-inch, 200-pound capacity. Yeah, pretty stout. So yeah, all assembled. Now I'm just going to show you how it functions and put it to some real-world testing. guys, just got back from a little off-road adventure there. Got one bike off, taking the other off here. As you can see, I mean, everything is still intact. The only thing, if you're like going crazy off-road like me, is these might be a little bit of an issue. Just blow them out with some air if you're launching giant roosts of sand, which you shouldn't be doing. I was going a little crazy. Take a little compressed air and blow these out if there's any sand in there. But yeah, it's still intact. No broken welds from what I can see. So that's it for the test video. This is actually a reshoot of doing this because I lost all the footage testing these off-road. So new hair, same rack, different bikes. These bikes are AMZ Cycle Wildlifes. These weigh about 81 pounds each, so it's about 60 pounds, 160 pounds a bike on this bike rack when I was going off-road. Yeah, so not too bad, but I'm gonna get this guy loaded off and then we're gonna wrap up the video here. So Young Electric also sent me a taillight kit for this rack, which will be great for people who have vehicles that are a little bit narrower, that don't have very visible taillights, or if you have bikes on here that obscure the taillights so you don't get rear-ended and your bikes don't get destroyed when someone in Florida just decides to plow into the back of your bikes. So, but besides that, this is the kit here, so let's go in the box, see what we got. So, I have a tail light. This is what it looks like. Has some weatherproofing on it, some plug, a little bit of a protectant on here, peel off. And these just go on right there, like that. We have some wire chases, so you can organize your wires pretty well. And we have our taillight plugs here, and then this goes into your trailer light plug on the back of your truck or your car. And then we have some mounting screws. Now, one thing I want to make sure to let everyone know, when you lift this up, there's no stop from making it just go straight to your tailgate or the back of your trunk. So just make sure you have a good hand on this and don't let go of it and let it fall. So if I lift it up, there's nothing stopping it going this way. So, you know, just be mindful. What I would suggest to them is maybe they put a little plate here on this, so this hits it and it stops. So this won't go all the way. It's a good idea. But here we have mounting holes, and then you can get to these holes from the other side as well in the actual track channel. So to install these, you're going to want to get yourself a 10mm and a 4mm hex key. So a 10mm ratchet and 4mm hex. Okay, move on to the next. Okay, just like that, installed. So I'm going to go ahead and install these clips. Looks like there's 4 locations you can install them. So there's one here, one here. So these just push in like so. One there, 2 more on the other side. Just like that. And then 2 down this center spine. Like that. Now let's take our harness and run this. So these pretty easily just plug right into the back of the lights. Pretty simple. They're keyed to specific directions, so you cannot mess that up. Okay, got that one in there. Get some slack here. Let's do this one as well. And then we're going to take our wire, run it through, and these clip in. So you just get this in here, and then this clamps into here like that. I'm just going to continue and run this through. Okay, we got our wires ran. Now we need to go plug into our taillight trailer plug-in. So on my truck, it's right here by the hitch receiver. And if you look in there, you can see it, 4-pin. Just plug that in like that. And that's all you need. Let's go test them. Okay, got the truck on. You can see they're lit up. Luckily, my truck has an app right here. Uh-oh. Can't have that. Copyright strike. Luckily, my truck has a trailer light check. I can hit that and it'll start doing a little sequence here. Turn signal works. Nice. Let's check the other one. Turn signal works. Perfect. What about brake lights? Nice. They work. Super easy, super simple. No reverse lights. You won't have that, but that's awesome. I always worry about like when I'm transporting bikes and I have 2 bikes on my racks that are like this, and you know, you got big 29-inch wheels and 2 of them 32 spokes. You know, it's a lot to block your tail lights and people can't see you, and I swear the drivers in Florida are the worst, but I'm sure everyone says that about where they live. But it's really scary when you have, you know, bikes that can be worth $10,000 a piece on the back of your vehicle. And someone's just like not paying attention, or they can't see your lights and you have to emergency brake. So I think that's a great addition to have. And I wish more bike racks like this would come with at least an add-on that you could buy to do this. And I'm sure you could buy like your own DIY kit and plug it in, but it's cool that they support this from the factory. One thing I want to make note of, I almost did this. You run this wire, make sure you don't pinch it between this spine here and this, you know, pivot. Don't get your brake light wire stuck in there, so just be cautious. Maybe turn this way so you don't lay it down and squish this. So after using this bike rack for quite a while, I want to go over some things that I actually like about it. One of the things I love systems like this. I love bike racks that clamp the tires and don't touch the frame. It's just like, if you buy a super expensive bike and you're going traveling somewhere and you hit some bumps and stuff, I don't want it touching like my carbon frame or, you know, messing up the paint on my bike. So getting something that goes like this and positively clamps on the tire, amazing. What's also nice is it's adjustable too. So if you have smaller diameter tires, all you have to do is unthread this little fitting here, and then this comes out and you can lower it or raise it depending on what size tire you have. So if it's a kid's bike, or you know, a road bike with a 650 or whatever. And it even goes up to higher widths as well. So, you know, fat tire bikes are going to be perfectly fine on this. And even I've transported gravel bikes on this, and you can do road bikes as well, because this is a tapered section here that fits to thinner tires. So very cool. Another thing that I do like about this are these wheel chocks. I don't know if I've seen this before, or maybe I just haven't paid enough attention, but these wheel chocks are pretty cool. So you can load the bike up this way, it rolls over like that, and then what I do is I preload this tire first so it pushes into this wheel chock. So you would take the bike up here, push it in so it sets into here, and now that tire, you know, the front tire is locked in, it can't move. There's a lot of other bike racks that are like this, and the front tire can just like kind of move in this. With this wheel chock, it eliminates all that movement and that like that floppiness that you get from the front end when the, you know, the fork can actually turn. So very cool. I like that. I'm gonna see if I can 3D print something like this for my other bike racks. It's very cool. So this here is a cool integrated feature that probably a lot of people are gonna use. Possibly not myself. I don't see myself using. I'm just gonna pick up the bike and struggle, but this is an option. It is a ramp that goes on the end here. Just slots in, lays on the ground, and you can roll your bike straight up, as you've seen previously in the video when I showed how this works. And this is actually integrated into this spine here. like that. So you go there, locks in, and now your bike rack ramp is there as well if you need to use that. A little bit of a downside is you can't really see the brake lights anymore that you put on there, so there's going to be a trade-off with that. Another great feature on this is on the bottom here, which I'll show you, there is a preload adjustment for this actual rack, and I have it kind of loose right now, but you can see this very minimal placement and the actual pivot here. All of it will come from the actual receiver. And then I think my last favorite feature is actually these two taillights, which is an add-on kit you can buy. There's a lot of kits out there that you either need to buy some own DIY taillight kits, or just figure it out yourself somehow, or hope they sell an add-on. So I think this is really nice for people who have just bike tires that obscure their taillights and people can't see their brake lights. The last thing you want to do is have your bikes get rear-ended by someone and just lose like 10 grand in bikes. So, and hopefully in Florida they have insurance because the minimum's 10,000. So if you're going to go ahead and buy this bike rack, I would just go ahead and buy these taillights. It's just a great sense of security and just gives you a little bit of peace of mind knowing hopefully other people behind you can actually see when you're braking. Now this bike rack is rated for 200 pounds. I think that's great. There's probably a safety factor in there. I guarantee you can hold a lot more than 200, but that's what they suggest using it. So on a good day and wet, I'm probably like 160, but I mean, yeah, nothing. Me jumping up and down at 160 pounds, I mean, didn't even move. Looking at the welds, perfectly fine, no cracking. All the welds on this look really great too. Hitch pin, bolts, really strong hardware. I think it's definitely one of the more heavy duty racks, and it's definitely a little bit heavy, but that's what you have to expect when you're buying something that has steel in it. So guys, that's it for the Young Electric 200-pound 2-bike rack. I think this is a very solid option if you're looking for something that's more heavy duty and can hold up to 200 pounds. A lot of those e-bikes, I mean, they get heavy, and when they're making them, they usually don't think about weight savings, unless it's a carbon fiber bike from a very expensive high-end company. So, I mean, yeah, if you're looking for something for e-bike transport and you know it's going to be durable and it's not going to break on you, definitely look at the Young Electric. So if you go down to the description of this video, I have a link there where you can buy this exact model. So check it out.